I'm going to do another rhetorical analysis for you, that is finding and explaining the figures of speech from this quotation. It is from Keats's Ode to a Nightingale. Away, away, for I will fly to thee, not charioted by Bacchus and his bards, but on the viewless wings of poesy, though the dull brain perplexes and retards. So, away, away, for I will fly to thee. We see that there is an exclamation at the beginning, at the opening of this stanza, with away and away. There is exclamation mark, and the poet is having overflowing emotions, and that is being expressed with this exclamation. So this is an example of that figure of speech. And next thing, that is away and away, the same word is repeatedly used in immediate succession. When that happens, we call it palilogia or epizeuxis. Same thing, different names. Okay. Then the poet is calling the nightingale, addressing the nightingale as thee, you. So when the poet is when the poet addresses some person who is absent, not there, or dead, not a living one, or when the poet is addressing an object of nature or an object of art, like Keats's Ode on a Grecian Urn. In all these cases, this method of addressing is called epistrophe. The poet calls him or calls it, calls the dead person or the absent person or the object of nature or object of art by a name, and calls it by a name, and that calling is apostrophe. So there is this apostrophe, that when the poet says, I will fly to thee, so the poet is talking to the nightingale as if it is a person, and he is addressing the nightingale as thee. So apostrophe. Next thing, it is a very tricky one, Bacchus and his bards. Now you know Bacchus, perhaps, if you have read Metamorphosis or things like that. You know Bacchus, the name is known to you. Bacchus is the god of wine and ecstasy, and agriculture, fertility, etc., according to Greek mythology. So Bacchus is being mentioned here by Keats. So you have to know about Bacchus to understand this line. So this is an allusion. The poet is indirectly telling you to know about Bacchus. You have to know about Bacchus, who he is, how he behaves, and what is his characteristics. Then you can understand this line. So this is an allusion. Also, Bacchus, because now you know that Bacchus was the god of wine, and the poet is talking about flying with the nightingale. So he is trying to say that he is not going to fly, not charioted by Bacchus. So he is not going to fly with the help of Bacchus. That means he is not going to fly with the help of wine or some kind of other substance. No, he is trying to fly with the help of poetry. Of course, the poetic imagination, he will in the next line he will mention that, but in this particular line we can get that Bacchus's chariot, that flight of the chariot, is being compared with the poetic flight of imagination. So the flight of imagination and the ecstatic chariot of Bacchus and his bards, these two are compared implicitly. So this is a metaphor. Next line, we can see that in the phrase viewless wings of poesy, there is the repetition of S sound. So this is a consonance of S sound, and poesy has been personified P capital, of course. As if poesy can fly, so wings of poesy, as if poesy can fly, etc. And poesy is not only personified, but when the phrase is used, wings of poesy, poesy, that means poetry, is being implicitly compared to the nightingale, because the nightingale can literally fly with its wings. Poesy can figuratively give the poet, metaphorically give the poet a flight with the help of its wings. Now, what is its wings? Its poetic imagination. So, wings of poesy, with this phrase, the poet Keats is comparing the nightingale's flight with the poetic flight. And so this is a metaphor. The last line, there is in the last line there is the use of tautology. Tautology is when we use when a poet uses synonymous words repetitively. Synonymous words used to restate, that means repeat some expression using different words, but the same thing. The thing is same, but it is repeated using different words or phrases. So when the poet is saying, dull brain perplexes and retards. Now, if you look at the dictionary and check the words dull, perplexed, and retarded, then you will find that all three mean the same thing. Dull brain, perplexed brain, retarded brain. Same thing. Synonymous words. The poet is using synonymous words to restate the same idea, that his brain is exhausted by excessive joy, exhausted by excessive exuberance and extreme ecstasy. Why? Because the nightingale is singing. So this is an example of tautology. So these are the figures of speech that we can find from these 4 lines. I hope I helped, and thank you for watching. Like, share and subscribe.